So I have neglected to introduce myself, so let me do that for a second, and then I want to talk maybe for a few minutes here about some things. So first of all, I'm Jeff Shell. As opposed, it's a little intimidating for me to be here because I do not have a long history in either international broadcasting or journalism, and we're in the presence of people who have had long histories in both. My history has all been in media and all been in the private sector. California native, proud California native, although Philadelphia Eagles fan, just to get the football thing going. And I worked for the Walt Disney Company, then for News Corp and Fox, and then for Comcast and NBC, where I've spent the last 3 years of my life in London in their international business. I am here because I believe in the Broadcasting Board of Governors. I believe in U.S. international broadcasting. I think, I don't want to speak for my fellow board members, but I think we feel like we're in sync on a lot of what we believe. On the plane over, I was watching David Ensor's town hall that you had last week. And I download everything on the VOA website to my iPad, so on 14-hour flights I can watch whatever I want to watch. And David said something interesting. He said, basically the mission of VOA is to export the First Amendment, which I thought was a very interesting kind of way of putting it. I think, in other words, I believe, and I think we all believe, that the way we showcase what we believe in as Americans, freedom and democracy, the best way we can showcase that is by free media, is by telling people the truth and getting it to them. There's two parts of that. One, it's telling the story, and two, it's finding a way to get it to people. And I think there's no place in the government, in my personal view, that has a more pure mission than this place. I know it gets complicated. I know it gets hard. I know there's lots of things that make the job difficult every day. But if you boil this place down to its pure and simple mission, this mission is pure, it's inspiring, and it's important. And so that's why I'm here. I spent enough time with Matt and Ambassador Crocker, Michael, and Susan to know that they share my views. And hopefully we'll be joined on the board by Ken and others eventually, and can as a board help figure out how to enact that mission in a better way. I think just to acknowledge, we have a lot to do, right? So this organization is a weird mix of things that were envisioned over the last 30 or 40 years, some dating back all the way to the Cold War. I can tell you from my day job that our world is changing pretty rapidly. It's hard enough in the private sector to try to figure out what to do when people are watching things on iPads and accessing things with mobile phones and doing things. Our kids do things so much differently than we do. And then you go to the world we live in with the BBG operating in 50, 60 different places with different technologies and different histories, and to try to make sense of that and figure out how to accomplish our mission in that rapidly changing environment is daunting. And so we have a lot of work to do in this organization. And one thing I will say, and I think my fellow board members agree with me on this, is we're not going to agree on everything in this room. Not just the board members, but everybody who's here interested in this. We're not going to agree on everything, but we have a lot of work to do, and what we've got to do is find the best solutions to some of these things and move forward, because we have to change the organization to better address this pure mission in this changing world. And by the way, the world's not going to stop changing. So it'd be nice if we could put a pin in it and stop the world from changing and change the organization, but the organization is going to keep changing as the world keeps changing. And I think actually in some ways that's very, very exciting. And I'm confident in the board. I think the new members, Matt and Ryan and I, share a certain rhythm already. With Susan and Michael, hopefully the five of us will spend some time together and share that rhythm, and we'll eventually have, other people here.